Good morning. Good morning. I'm so grateful. This is my very first time getting my toes in the sand, my hands in the sand, and continuing with this wonderful new tool called StreamYard. And I am reporting live. I can't play around with the filters today, though, because of the StreamYard, but I'm so glad to have this opportunity to come and splatter and celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s day. And it's also the beginning of the season for nonviolence. Jason Filler, buenos dias to you as well. You can recognize the ocean of abundance behind me. So let's go ahead. Those of you who don't know who I am, unlike Jason, my name is Dr. Marissa. And I am hashtag positively opinionated. And I am an organizational psychologist by education, but I have taken it as my life mission. I'm on a happy 88 mission, which is 8 million more happy people in the next 8 years, both with my best-selling book, 8 Ways to Happiness, as well as all of my programs. Take my advice, I'm not using it. Get Happy with Dr. Marissa. That's syndicated on CNBC, iHeartRadio, and that's every Friday at 3 p.m. now, my new primetime slot with CNBC, NBC News Channel, KCAA. And then Mondays, I thought I would come live from the beach with you to provide some tools for you to take on your week and choose happiness. So that's what this is right now. So let's get started with the breath, which those of you who know me know that I like to do that. So if you would, so you can see, let's see. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Gently close your eyes, taking a breath in and releasing all the stories and the drama. Another deep breath in and releasing soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. And one more deep breath in, connecting with me through chi, eternal energy, the breath of life that connects us all. And then in the release, open your eyes slowly as I'm connecting with you wherever you are around the planet. The thing about hashtag COVID silver lining is that we actually get to connect with way more than our neighborhood, way more than our organizations that are local. But thanks to technology, we can connect worldwide. And so that's what we're doing today. And we're going to talk about the teachings of someone who, could have just lived a ordinary, not made waves kind of life, but chose to dedicate his life work to promoting peace, love, and not hatred. So let's keep it real. These days, it seems like everybody's on edge. Everybody is waiting for the next bad thing to happen. What is it going to be like when the inauguration happens, and is there going to be more violence? And now we've got the vaccine, and are there going to be problems with the vaccine? Good morning, Lal, or good evening for you in Pakistan. We're talking about Dr. Martin Luther King and his legacy today, and how we apply that to our lives in the Mind Your Own Business series. For those of you who just tuned in, if you comment, I can see who's there. Otherwise, I can't see your name. So thank you so much for joining me. So how can we possibly live in love and live in peace when there's just so much wrong that's going on? You've got the we're still, you see the numbers, people are still dying, the hospitals are overloaded. I just got a little message from my favorite niece and nephew in San Francisco that today is actually the most depressing day. It's called the midpoint of winter, which apparently, obviously in sunny California, we don't have that contrast, but it's the day where there's the most depression. And then it's okay. We're really going to get to some good, happier talk. But I'm setting the stage for how can we possibly think about love or think about hope or think about peace when things are so fluxed up, as my big brother Michael Bernard Beckwith will say. So have I set the stage enough? I mean, we've got COVID, we've got the inauguration, we've got an outgoing president who doesn't want to go. We've got we've got families split up. We've got an insurrection at Capitol Hill. We've got so much loss around finances, around health, around mental health. And now, on top of that, there's so much highlight, deservedly, on racial tensions that we have, rightfully so. All of the it's just, there's just so much. I mean, even me just talking about it now is bringing me down. So, when I spoke to the USC group last week, I challenged them all. And this is one of those Happy 88 challenges that Dr. King absolutely lived by. And that is, you cannot fight hate with hate. You just can't do it. So if you are angry, righteously indignant, if you have every reason to hate what happened on Capitol Hill, you hate what happened to a loved one, you hate what is going on. Martin Weech, hi. You hate all of these things that are so prevalent in the news, that are just in front of you. If you're scrolling in the morning, first thing you do, you wake up and you pick up that device and you start scrolling. You see the news, you see the highlights. It's actually, you don't have to try. By default, you're going to wake up in hate. You're going to wake up in restless, irritable, and discontent. That's going to be your default these days. There's really nothing that is presented to us, except if you tune into me and my shows, that is anything to smile about or anything to laugh about. So this is the time that we really exercise our muscle. We develop and hone and magnify our hashtag Blisscipline to meet hate with love. And I gotta tell you, ouch. I'm 5 weeks after a hip replaced and I just tried to cross my legs. That's not a good idea. This is my first day actually, and I'm celebrating back on the sand by the water. This week I go back to the doctors and see if I can start driving again. But thank you for all the prayers, by the way. And it's hip hip hooray, and the hip chick is back. So if you see me moving around, it's because I'm trying to find a comfortable place for my hips that don't lie. All right. So it's easy to hate. It's natural to hate. You have a right to hate. It's a default thing. You're going to hate with all that's going on. So the muscle that I'm asking for all of us to exercise is to suspend, and again, to shove down hate is what has happened to our country. So I don't want you to shove down hate. I love you. Oh, I just love everything. I just love everybody. That and is like George Costanza's father in Friends when he was like, Serenity now. Everything, serenity now, no matter what happened. So, our country, in the valuing diversity work that I got to be part of in the 90s, we took all of that racism and prejudice and just shoved it underground or shoved it under the water. I call it smooth waters above and sharks below. So we don't want to do that. We can't just pretend to love. So what does love really, really mean when there's so much to hate? And I'm gonna touch on. I'm gonna probably step on some toes here because you know, I spoke for a group, a women's advocacy group, very, very famous. And if you look at advocacy and if you look at a lot of the, um, mothers against uh, war against drugs, war against obesity, war, this, I hate this, and so we're going to fix it. That energy is diametrically opposed to healing, growth, creation. All of that energy is renewal, is growth, is expansion. Opposite to cut down, hate, 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 stomp down, get rid of. And as Esther Hicks will say in the law of attraction, there is no assertion in our universe. You cannot say, I hate, I hate poverty and expect to eliminate poverty. You can't say, I hate racism. And there's a lot of people saying that. Now, if you say, I hate racism, you are promoting the hatred of racism. It's a semantical thing. And it took me a while. Actually, my daughter, when she was like 6, said, Mom, how can you get to peace through war? And I was like, oh wow, that's a good question. But that's the principle. We cannot yell at or lecture or be indignant or continue to unfriend, and I'm guilty of that because it's just easier for me not to engage with someone who is absolutely bonkers in my mind. And how people have put on my timeline, I refuse. How can you love Trump? How can you love people? How can you love Proud Boys? How can you love KKK? How can you love, acts of violence and hatred? How can you love that? Well, it's, my big brother yesterday at Agape, this exact message, which actually I must have gotten the because we started talking about this last week, is it's really, it's a different kind of love. It's not romantic love. It's not sensual love. It's unconditional love in the sense that it's unconditional. It is not determined by the condition with which you are in or seeing around you. So let me give you an example. When I interviewed T.M. Garrett on my show, he was the head of KKK in Europe. He was a skinhead. He did horrible things. So the way he put it was, if I hated him, there was no chance for him to come to me and say, I just don't understand this part. I don't want to do, but I don't know any other way. He couldn't have a dialogue with me to reach out. And I certainly wouldn't have had him on my show. Yeah. So there's this window, and I call it yesterday. It came to me as Rev was talking, is when I do this, and I'm going to teach you this. If you haven't taken a class with me, this will be new. But take your right hand. This is the fighting hand in traditional Tai Chi. So I use this to hurt, right, with my energy. But I'm going to close my fighting hand to show that I come in peace. So you're going to hold it like this, your thumb sort of here. I'm holding peace. I'm not fighting. I'm holding peace. Then I'm going to turn my hand. I'm going to take my other hand and put it so it looks kind of like an A. And I'm going to bring this down, that I come in peace. I'm going to bring it down to my heart chakra. And I'm just going to gently bow and say, xie, xie. Xie, xie. Now, what does xie, xie mean? You know, I know you thought I was Swedish, but I'm actually Chinese. And xie, xie is Mandarin. The literal translation is thank you. But I've adopted it as my Chinese namaste. For those of you who use namaste and don't know what it means the divine in me sees the divine in you, or honors the divine in you. So I've expanded that to mean and to embody what Dr. King talks about. You cannot fight hate with hate. You cannot overcome darkness with darkness. Light, love is what illuminates hate and darkness. So if you had darkness to more darkness, it's still dark. If you had hate to more hate, it's still hate. If you allow love to permeate hate, then it becomes love. So in that vein, when I do this and bring it down here and say, xie, xie, I am saying that the light in me, that the love in me, I'm going to get emotional here. The light, it's a good thing I have my sunglasses on. The light and love in me, which all of us have, even Hitler, even Trump, even all the people who have done heinous things, have a light within them. Everybody does. And this is what's going to save our families who can't agree on politics. That the light in me acknowledges and honors and sees and recognizes the light in you. I get emotional when I feel the truth and I feel the changing of my own heart. Because it's easy for me to hate. I mean, I learned how to hate at a very early age by the things that were done to me. So it's easy for me to go right into that in protection. I'm going to show you my heart. Tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. My heart is soft right now. I love it when people cry because it shows their heart is open. There's nothing wrong with crying, so don't ever apologize for crying. So the light in me recognizes a light with you. Now, why is this so powerful? Because it transcends what I think. I'm coming from here. I'm not coming from here. Here, I want to be right. I want to show you how wrong you are. I want to prove to you how wrong you are. I want to defend what I think. I'm going to explain to you 5 ways to never why I am right. That, my friends, will continue the hate and pitting family against family, party against party, American against American, state against state, vaccine versus non-vaccine. It's going to continue that hate dynamic that will never heal us. Never. Dark, 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 right? Dr. King, what is the light? Where is the love? Can't remember the words, but there's love in there somewhere. The love energy, the love light that is within every one of us, that is within every person that you really hate, they have that light too. They do. Maybe hidden, maybe hard to find, but it's kind of matrixy, kind of Twilight Zone, kind of Voyager. If you can picture that light love beam that is at the core of every single human being, no matter where you are, no matter what you've gone through, and that beam is what you are going to open up and highlight so that you can beam it out and connect with and find. That's the muscle. Can I broadcast my love beam? Can I magnify my, can I like tear away my own prejudices and my own BS, my own belief systems to find my own light? That's what mind your own business is all about. I may not be able to change anything about you or what's out there, but I can exercise my choice to find my light and my love. And this is a powerful day, Dr. Martin Luther King Day, to do that. And I see a comment here from Michelle, who hate. Exactly. So when I do this, you see me doing this, and I want you to all adopt this. And then you can explain it, and then they will adopt it too. When I do this, I am saying, at the core of who I am love. At the core of who I am light. And I'm using the power of my light and love to connect to you past what you're thinking, past what I'm believing, and just with that, it doesn't even have to be said. There's such power in that energy. Power. You can do this from 6 feet away. This is more powerful than a hug. Those of you who miss hugs, like me, if you can connect using this beautiful Chinese part of my balanced Tai Qigong practice and discipline, I'm honoring all of you. Today, celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Day, also the blue midpoint of Winter Monday. We don't have to be blue. We don't have to hate. We do not have to hate. We cannot like something. We can say, you know what? I don't like what happened to George Floyd. So how can I, with the hula hoop that I have under my, can I call an organization that is looking at police reform? I'm not talking about sitting under a Bodhi tree or a bonsai tree and just beaming this light. Well, I am. And from this place, when you strengthen your love light, guess what happens? You get inspired thought. You get inspired action. And from that place, there's so much to do. That's the be the change part. For those of you who are not natural activists, just start here. So join my 21-day fast from complaining. That's within your purview. Can you go 21 days without complaining? Because when you're complaining, a complaint is a mini hate. I don't like this. I don't like that. That's a mini hate. So there's your commercial. If you want to start right here. Let's work on our own light. Let's find our own light. Let's move aside all of those little hates and pet peeves and, all of that so that we can honor. I'm honoring the love and light in you from my own love and light. Yes? And that is it for this episode of Mind Your Own Business with Dr. Marissa every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time by the Ocean of Abundance. I hope that you join me this Friday. We are spotlighting self-care because Lord knows we need it with my Canadian self-care expert, Sandra McNeil. You may have seen her on The Host uh, uh, with the auditions. She's going to be my guest on Friday with self-care tips. So that's Friday on my CNBC channel, KCAA AM, FM, home to Dave Ramsey and the Asian Oprah, KCAAradio.com. And it will be broadcasting live through my YouTube channel. I may also put the link. We had a little problem getting it on Facebook last time, but plenty of places to get splattered with more hope and happiness. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for several of you have gone and donated to my 501c. Those of you who shop on Amazon, it's easy. Just go to Smile Amazon, put in 8 Ways to Happiness. Every purchase you make, the price is the same, but a little bit goes to my nonprofit, and I so appreciate that. That is it. Stay tuned. I'm going to go over to IGTV right now. Let's see if there's any more comments. So join my Facebook group called 21 Day Fast from Complaining. And you can start the fast at any time. You don't have to wait for the first of the month. $21. You register. Put your money where your complaint is. If you complete 21 days, and Uwe Fryer is on day 18. He has not blown it yet. So in 3 days, he may get his double his money back. But if you do end up complaining, the $21 goes to my nonprofit. Okay? And the nonprofit 8 Ways to Happiness donates books about feelings to children and happiness to young teens and adults who have temporarily forgotten their birthright to happiness. That's it for today. This is Dr. Marissa, broadcasting live from the Ocean of Abundance, wishing you the best week ever. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace.